Helen here with Eyes on the Game, and I'm here being joined by Hall of Fame boxing referee Joe Cortez. Always great to see you. And now there's some exciting news that you are working with Conor McGregor for his upcoming fight against Floyd Mayweather. Can you talk a bit more about how everything came about?
Well, they were recruiting around for a referee to teach him the rules on refereeing, the unified rules, to make sure that there's no mistakes being committed the night of the fight when he fights Floyd Mayweather August 26th at the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. So I'm just instructing him on do's and don'ts to make sure he follows the rules to a T.
But how did they reach out to you? Like, how did this all happen?
Well, from what I understand, they were searching around, and I understand that they called several people, and they told me, Joe, you were highly recommended by certain individuals. And I said, wow, me? I'm retired. I said, yeah, but
Hall of Fame.
they kept coming up with the name Joe Cortez, and I'm honored, and I'm humbled that I was chosen for that position. So
when did they contact you?
Well, it was last week, and we started ready the sparring sessions here in Las Vegas, and everything's been going pretty good for the last week or so, and we'll be working for the next 5 weeks, make sure that he's sharp and tuned into the rules.
Yeah. So as far as the boxing rules go, I know Conor is a student of the game, always learning, but was there anything in particular you kind of had to instruct him on regarding the boxing rules?
No, we're going from A to Z. As we go along, it'll be a process of 5 weeks. It's something you don't learn overnight. Mm-hmm. But he's doing very well. I'm pretty impressed with his learning, and he's doing pretty. I mean, he's not a difficult guy to work with. He's very easy, and he follows instructions very well, and I feel good that he's learning so quick.
What surprised you the most about working with him?
Well, he's an excellent. He's a sharp individual who's very athletic, has a lot of speed, has a lot of power, and I can tell you that he's going to be somebody to reckon with. He's not going to be an easy guy. He's one of the best champions the UFC has ever had in the MMA sport. So I would say he brings a lot of activity, a lot of action to the sport.
And do you believe that, when the fight happens, obviously Mayweather 49-0, that there is a good chance this will be a very competitive fight?
It's going to be very competitive. I think that they're both going to bring a lot to the game.
Yeah. And have you talked to Floyd, though?
No, I haven't spoken to Floyd. I haven't spoken to Floyd I don't know how many years. Yeah. But no, I haven't spoken to him. But they're aware that I'm training McGregor. From what I understand, from the commission, they informed them that I'm working with McGregor. But it's going to be a win-win for everybody, because it's going to be hopefully be a clean fight, because I'm teaching him to be a clean fight and not an MMA fight. Not that MMA is dirty, but it's a different sport. They have different rules in MMA that you can get disqualified in boxing. So that's why we're trying to iron that out, and we're doing very well with that.
And I know you've cornered quite a few fighters in the past. Will you be in Conor's corner for this fight?
No, I will not be in the corner for this fight or any other fighter in the future. I was just testing out some skills in the training with the fighter. I work with Sean Porter, as many of you know, and that was good. But it's something that I just wanted to help out temporarily, but it was not a permanent thing. But I feel more comfortable teaching as a referee than working in a corner with fighters.
But will you be there on fight night?
I work with ESPN, and I'll definitely be there, because we'll be covering the fight as well.
Awesome. And then as far as Paulie, I know he did speak out about the sparring, or what he could say about the sparring, which was because they're both competitive, there was a lot of trash talking. How was that environment in there?
It was like any other fight. I handle it. We try to make it like if it was a real fight, and Paulie did a great job in making sure that he fought the way he wanted to. It was very, very exciting, a lot of fun, and I think is what we need for McGregor to learn all the happenings, all the things that can happen in the ring.
And did anything surprise you about Conor's boxing skills?
No. All I can tell you, it's going to be a great fight.
And he looks ready right now?
He's physically ready, yes. He's mentally and physically ready.
Awesome. And do you think, there will be things we haven't seen from him in there? Obviously it is a boxing fight, but I'm saying as far as skill-wise, some people do have their doubts. He's coming in from MMA background. Do you think that he can match up with the top-level boxers?
All I can tell you, you're going to see a great match.
And do you know as far as who will be being the referee that night?
I have the slightest idea. We don't know yet. And it's just something that the commission has to come about, make a decision with that the next couple of weeks. But I don't know. I
know last time we spoke a few months ago when this fight was still being in the works, you kind of talked about, just your thoughts regarding it and just not really sure how you felt about this fight. Has your views changed?
Yes, they have changed. That's why I wanted to wait when they got closer to the fight to be. I'm open-minded when it comes to anything anybody does, and this is something that you have to get closer to the action. Just like Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, it's going to be a competitive fight. Who's going to win? Who knows until we get closer to the fight. It all got to do with the training and what goes on behind the scenes. That you study everything and you try to more or less get an idea. But I can tell you that I'm pretty impressed with both fighters. I mean, Mayweather brings a lot of talent in boxing, and this Conor McGregor brings a lot of talent MMA, but he surprisingly has a lot to give in boxing. So he's a great puncher too. So all I can tell you is there's a lot of stuff I cannot talk about because of the confidentiality agreement that I signed with him. But all I can tell you is he's in great shape, and I'm sure that Floyd will come in great shape as well. And I'm going to be neutral like a referee. I don't pick sides. I'm there to teach, and they can learn and make it a great event because it's going to be one of the biggest pay-per-view events in any sport, in the history of any sport, and one of the most watched events, I believe, in any sport worldwide. There's even people 90 years old that are talking about it, so that tells you a lot about how popular this fight is going to be.
Yeah, and also, to hear that from you, who you've been a part of some of the biggest, if not the biggest boxing fights in history. Can you kind of talk about how this fight will stack up against, other huge fights that you've been at or covered? Well,
this is something new because we're mixing MMA with boxing. We've never seen that before. But I can tell you one thing, there's more interest in this fight than any other fight I've seen in the sport, besides, of course, Muhammad Ali and those great ones, but and Mike Tyson fights, but Mayweather fights. There's been a lot of activity, a lot of talk about like Manny Pacquiao when he fought Mayweather, and this fight here brings a lot. I believe it's going to be an explosion.
Yes. And then lastly, is there a reason you haven't talked to Floyd in a couple years?
No, because I say, I don't hang around the gyms. It's not my thing. I've seen him with ESPN, sometimes I see him at the fights or whatever. We wave hello to each other, but no, there's no reason. Mayweather's a gentleman, and I have no issues with anybody. Yeah.
And then also, how many days are you working with Conor a week?
It depends. It depends. They'll be letting me know how many days, but it'll be quite a bit every week, and we'll be doing a lot of work.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on all your continued success, and it's nice to see you back in boxing in some way, and it's always nice to catch up with you.
Well, it's a pleasure, and I tell the fans, enjoy the fight coming up August 26th because it's going to be a great night for boxing and for MMA. I think we're going to draw a lot of fans from MMA into boxing and vice versa, so I think it's a win-win for everybody.